What constructive results have you observed from being suspicious of white people?
What constructive results have I observed from being suspicious of white people?
Yes, sir.
Well, I'm not suspicious of white people except just to say that in a system of white supremacy, I can expect to be racist because that's a requirement in a system of white supremacy. And so I have to persuade those that I can not to be racist. And how do I do that? Take away the idea that you have to have a system of white supremacy in order to produce a thing called justice, that you can produce it without the system of white supremacy, because that's the premise. The white supremacists say, well, you can't have anything without white supremacy. I mean, it makes sense. You know, it's the best form of government ever thought up. And there's an excellent argument from their viewpoint, those who think like that, for that. Because they'll say, look at all the governments that have come before. Have you seen a more efficient government ever or heard of one, except all the exaggerations you get from some people about ancient history, what happened 18,000 years ago and all that? And they'll say, but the most progressive government out of all the governments you have ever seen in recorded history, in modern history, is the system of white supremacy. And if you tried any other government, a lot of them are excellent governments, but they have all kinds of, I mean, they just fall apart. They have all kinds of flaws that the system of white supremacy doesn't have when it comes to making fast progress. See, you don't have a record of people ever being able to fly through the air at great speeds like you have now. That's because of the system of white supremacy. Nobody's done this before. People should stop complaining. You're looking at the next thing to heaven itself. A government under the system of white supremacy. And black people, you know, black people are always bragging about the things that white supremacists produces. We line up. I'm going to get me one of them. Give me some of them shoes. You know, I'm going to get on that airplane. You seen that new one come up? Boy, they got one now. They. See, it's always they. Who is this mysterious they? The white supremacists. That's who. Big Mama. Big Daddy. Yeah. Ooh, look at that airplane. I'm going to get on there. Go over there and see if we can get in. I've seen this as long as, this is, hey, you know, we're all familiar with it. We're like that. Tell the truth and stop lying to ourselves. That's the worst thing you can do, the lies that you tell to yourself. You say, well, I worked in that factory, yeah, because you were hired and grateful to get the job. So don't start bragging about that either. We ain't in a bragging position. None of us. Period. Well, my great-grandfather, he did a lot of great things too, yeah, but, you know, where is he now? What happened? When people start bragging about all the great accomplishments of black people in the history books, I've always asked, after they get through talking, what happened? They say, well, we were like Malcolm X said, outsmarted, bamboozled.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I say, well, now, what does that say? You were outsmarted? what does that say? I mean, stop. I mean, before you go any further with all this waving some kente cloth. You are outsmarted. Just hold that right now. Don't run past that. Please, folks, wake up. Stop acting. This ain't theater. We got to solve problems. Now, the white supremacists, in answer to the question, have come up with the most productive system ever in recorded history for handling things. But you could have done the same thing without mistreating people. And that is the thing that we should fight against. We can admit all the other things. We can say, hey, and the white supremacists step forward, start talking about their great inventions and all that. You can say, yeah, okay. Okay, Mac, you invented everything, okay? But wait a minute. Is anybody being mistreated? Because when it comes down to, inventions don't mean nothing if people are being mistreated. When it comes down to it, inventions don't mean nothing if people are being mistreated. Is anybody being mistreated? Do you have killing in these modern streets? All right? Do you have fights on airplanes that you brag about? See, we don't have the type of interaction between people that we should have. Why? Because your whole apparatus is built on mistreating people. All right, and that's the only thing we're talking about.
All right.
See, a lot of black people say that I'm putting black people down so much there ain't no point in even talking to Fuller. Because, I mean, you know, he ain't talking about nothing except just lambasting black people. That's not true. I'm black. I'm talking about the best way to go about this. So that white people will stop lying, and white people stop lying to the system of white supremacy about just about everything, and black people stop lying about the same things. And everybody just tell the truth. Somebody accomplishes something that's great, say so. Doesn't make no difference who it is and whatnot. Somebody's messing up, say so.
That's true.
Because that will help the system, end the system of white supremacy faster than anything. Be willing to tell the truth on everybody. On everybody. Because none of us are the quality of people that we should be. White or non-white, not one.